Welcome to The Beauty Shift, proudly sponsored by Keranique, America's #1 hair regrowth system created by women for women. I'm Michelle Phillips. I'm a celebrity stylist and beauty expert, a national TV personality, and self-confidence coach. And over the years, I've worked with some of the most recognized faces in the world, helping them look and feel their absolute best inside and out. That ultimate inner outer wow. Now that's true beauty, my friends. Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to The Beauty Shift. I'm so excited about today's show. Recently, I had the wonderful conversation with someone who's played an incredible role in my journey. Her name is Susan Haber. Susan is a renowned Hollywood agent. She's a brand strategist, and she's also a TV show creator and a guiding force behind some of the most recognizable names and TV shows in the entertainment industry. But to me, Susan is so much more. She's a mentor, she's a cheerleader, and a woman with a big heart. So recently, I sat down with Susan and she shared her powerful wisdom on stepping into your purpose, building your brand with authenticity, navigating fear no matter what you're doing, doesn't have to be in business, and staying true to you, even in a world that often tries to tell you who to be. Yeah, we've all been programmed to think and act and look a certain way, right? And so a lot of times we get really self-conscious. We worry about what other people will think. We have imposter syndrome. We have all these things creep up that create self-doubt and stop us dead in our tracks from living our dreams, following our purpose, figuring out what our passions are. And a lot of times as women, we feel like, oh, maybe it's too late for us to start our own business. Maybe it's too late to start something new or to change up what I'm doing. Well, if you want to grow in any way in your life, if you have a calling to live a bigger and bolder life, this episode is for you. Susan's insights are going to inspire you to trust your unique gifts, to follow your heart, and to take brave action. Because that, my friends, is what I call beauty, being true to you. I cannot wait for you to experience the heart and humor of this sweet woman. Let's welcome Susan Haber to The Beauty Shift. Welcome, Susan Haber. I'm so excited to have you here with me today.
Oh my God, thank you.
It's so
So
fun.
do I, actually. That's so funny. I'm so happy to be here and see you. It's wonderful.
You too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
been 20 years, I think, that we've known
I,
each other.
it's a
And we
long
get
time.
younger looking every day. That's right.
We do. We look so good.
We do.
I love your hair, by the way. Your hair is fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
So
yes.
much has, changed
Great.
and evolved through the years.
Amazing.
When I met you through my cousin, Michelle Phillips, who introduced
Yes.
me,
Yes.
and I was very fortunate. You said, I would be happy to represent you, and you're a big Hollywood agent. And I was like, oh my God, this is
Oh, you are
amazing.
so cute. You're so
I
funny.
was so,
Oh my
back
God.
then, 20 years ago, I was really
Yes.
nervous, and we didn't have social media. We didn't have
Nothing.
nothing,
Yeah.
no
Right.
YouTube, nothing. And, you sent me over to the E Network and King World and all these huge reality TV production companies. It was phenomenal. And I think at the time you were representing Ty Pennington, who you may still be
Yes.
representing, but I've seen him surface again.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
Yeah.
but back then, reality TV was brand new.
It
It
was
was,
brand new. I mean, well, I guess it really started probably. Well, first of all, before we talk about reality TV, I just want to talk about you. I'm so proud of you because look where you have come. I mean, I feel like you're my, my baby, my child, and look how you've grown. And I just love what you're doing, and you're very inspirational. And I watch you all the time, and I know you've helped thousands of women and probably men also, just really, grow to their full potential. And you certainly have. So I'm really proud of you. And I'm
thank
happy to be
you.
here. Yeah.
All right, I've got tissues close by because you're gonna make me cry. That means the world, seriously, when I did walk into your office the first time to meet you, I was so nervous. And I remember my
That's
mom
so funny.
said, get in your head, you're dead. Be you. And that
That's
was one of
great.
the hardest things I had to learn in the beginning was just be myself on camera.
I love it. That's great.
And I know
Yeah,
you teach that. You taught me
I
that. Be
do.
yourself, be vulnerable, Michelle. Don't try to be like other people. And that was a little challenging at first, but then I realized, okay,
Yeah.
if I don't do this, then I'm going to blow, any opportunities that I may have coming to me. So just stop getting in my
Well,
head.
you have to. And, I always say, like, there are many people that do a great job on TV and podcasts and social and everything, but some are so I don't know if they're authentic or not, but they scare me. Like, watching, if I was watching Susie Orman is always like scares me. Like I feel like she's so critical. When I watch Martha Stewart, I am totally intimidated, although I think she's being herself. But, when people really show their vulnerability, which everybody has, then it's kind of, maybe it's misery loves company. I don't know, but it's also like it relaxes you, and you feel like, oh, it's not that easy for them either, and it's just so much easier to take it all in.
And people connect with you more. I
Yes.
feel, especially since COVID, I
Oh
think we
yeah.
want to see people more, I want to say the word stripped down is what comes to mind. Just not so perfect and
Yes.
perfectly spoken. Just talk about what's on your mind. Talk about who you are, what you do,
Yeah.
and that's what I really wanted to talk to you about today because
Yeah.
nowadays people don't want to be on television just to be on TV necessarily. People are really trying to figure out a way to become their own brand or promote their
Definitely.
business or their product. I know a lot of times, and you do everything from create shows for Oprah Winfrey Network and more, as well as represent people who have brands or who are a brand. So, how do you suggest people kind of step into that realm and figure out how
Yeah.
they can start to get more exposure?
Well, sometimes they're a brand and they don't even know it. And they have some sort of special something, whatever it is, whether it's a skill or their personality or something that they can do. But they haven't a clue what to do with it or how to push it up there and become known, become popular. And so I help them sort of hone in on what it is, because before you can put yourself out there and tell the world about what you do, you've got to come inside of yourself and figure out exactly what it is you do.
Exactly. Your brand
And
messaging is so important.
so important. And you have to be, I think, very, very specific, because when I, for example, go pitch a show and it's not very specific, or when I walk a talent in to meet a buyer or whoever we're talking to, if it's not very specific, then nobody knows what to do with you. If there are too many choices, like, well, because I've had this so many times in my career where people come to me and they're like, I'm like, well, so what is it you do exactly? And they're like, I'm a motivational speaker, but I also teach yoga, and I also, and there's like five different things they do. And I'm like, oh, cool, that's awesome. You're a great person and I love what you do. But for purposes of selling yourself, uh, let's figure out what it is. And maybe we can take three or four of these things and put them together and, discover something brand new that nobody's doing.
Right.
Right. But we need to figure out what it is. So let's really focus on that first. And, that's the most important part. I think the first part.
So I see it all the time too, where people think that they just need to talk to everyone.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I've learned is speak to that one person that's your
Yes.
target market, and that other people will follow you as well. But when you're speaking to that one
Hmm.
person, you can get more concise, and that's when you start to really build your following as well as once I started getting into the media on
Yeah.
TV, I mean, I'm the go-to girl for beauty and
Yeah.
self-confidence. It's like, okay.
Exactly.
And when I say, but I'm doing this other thing, they're like, we don't care. We like you for beauty and confidence. That's what you've been doing
Right.
for 20 years, and that's who you are. And it is who I am.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. It's even like when you go on a job interview,
Right.
and they want to know, what your strong suits are.
Right.
So we have to direct people, really let them know who we are, what we do, what we want to do, what we're bringing to the table, what we want to share with the world, what our messaging is. Really, really important.
And for those who may say, well, there's so many people in the same lane that I'm in. There's so many people, for example, for me, beauty and self confidence. A lot of times people say, well, I can't compete with that. How do you respond to that?
So nobody is Michelle Phillips. Nobody in the world is Michelle Phillips, right? So you do it differently. You're an individual. I think it is so fascinating that we human beings all have two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and every single person looks different, right? Because we
Yeah.
are. We are different. Every single person is different. So I do have clients come to me and say, should we trademark this? Should we, have them sign an NDA before we pitch it? And I'm always like, no, because they can pitch the show that we have developed, but it won't have you. So it's a different show,
Right. It's
right? So
so true.
everybody's an individual. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
I agree. And again, when you were talking about just being yourself, I feel as if you open up and you're vulnerable and you share from your heart, people are going to connect with you. And if there's a ton of experts in the same niche, they're going to gravitate to the person that they identify with the most. So that's why I feel being
yes,
vulnerable and sharing openly who you are and what you do and concisely has really helped me because there's so many people that do what I do.
yeah,
But it hasn't stopped me. It stopped me quite a bit in the beginning because I was intimidated by it. And then I thought, okay, well, that's not going to help me. I
right.
need to get over this. And a
It's
lot of
not.
it's insecurity too, comparing yourself to others.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we all do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do that. But we can't do that. We got to stop doing that because we are individuals and we each have, even if we're saying the exact same words,
Yeah.
we're saying them a little bit differently.
Right.
And we might get to somebody and somebody else might not, So it's really important to realize that you're an individual and you have your specialness about you. And what you do is not what anybody else in the world is going to do.
Such great advice.
Ah.
I love it. And so many people now are torn about social media versus being on TV. I think a lot of times when I'm working with clients that come to me, as my side hustle's been for years, how do I get on TV? How can you help me with my camera presence? And I teach people, what I do so that they can become their own brand.
Yeah.
But I think people discount being on television because not as many people watch TV anymore. Yet I think we watch more TV than we realize because we're watching streaming.
Everybody's watching the social channels, right? And YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. Everybody's watching that, but it's a completely different experience than watching it on a TV. And then also you can watch TV on your phone. It's all kind of mixed together now.
Yeah.
But social media, it's different than watching a show. I mean, watching a show is, I feel like a more holistic experience,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's going away. I personally don't turn on my TV much these days. I watch my TV, but I watch it on my phone.
Right.
So, and then others watch it on their iPad, but I like watching on my phone. I've got everything right in front of me on my phone. But it's different watching a show. Even the reality shows, as I've explained, are not, we never just turn on the camera and see what happens,
Oh, I know.
right?
I think people think it's just, I know that it's totally unplanned.
Yeah,
No, it's planned.
never. It's planned. There's a Bible. We know what's happening. There's not a script. We don't have a script,
Right.
but we have a Bible. One of the shows I sold to Oprah is called The Six Little McGees. And it's about an African American family with sextuplets from
Wow.
Ohio. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they were about one when I got together with them and we sold the show to Oprah. And we actually had to go to New York for upfronts, which, for those who don't know, is where the advertisers come and see all the shows that are available so they can decide where they want to spend their money for advertising. And so we had to bring, the six little McGee's and the parents to New York. Oprah wanted them there for this upfronts show, and we had a stroller with for six kids, and we had a suite with six cribs, and we had six car seats, and we had six of everything. It was very, very funny. That was like nothing that you could do sort of on social media. It was a fabulous show, and it was not scripted, but scripted in a way. Like, we knew we were going to go to the bowling alley that day, but we didn't know what was going to happen once we got there. It's different. It's just not like, the social media, which is pretty much a one-on-one kind of
Right.
thing. It's way
Experience.
different than watching something happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And working in television, in fact, I have an interview coming up with a gentleman who works with all the networks and works a lot with brands and helping them build their brands on TV. And he said 80% of, and this is through their studies that they've done in Nielsen, 80% of people actually trust those that they see on television versus those that they see on social media.
Hmm.
Because, when you're on TV, they got to vet you.
Absolutely.
You're an
Yes.
actual, you know, tried and true trusted person most of the time.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
unless you're, acting and you're doing a villain thing or whatever. But I mean, I'm just
Right.
talking in terms of reality or being an expert on a TV show. And then again, when you look at your website, if someone's coming to your website and they see as seen on these shows, it just raises your credibility and it
It
also helps your
does.
visibility. And that's really what people want is they want people they
Yes.
know they can trust.
Yes.
So
Yeah. It's what you're more verified when you're on television. The other thing that I think is very important, and going back to the branding thing, is when people are familiar to us, people that we're watching are familiar to us, we want to watch them more. We want to like them. And when they align themselves with certain brands, that becomes more comfortable also. And we want to we want to hang out with the people that we like. And so, the branding thing I think is very, very important these days, to get known and to push yourself up. And what I've been telling my clients and the ones that have done it have really had some success. And I just wanted to make sure I got this out is that if you want to align with a brand, if you're doing social media and you want to align with a brand, the most important thing is to do your social media and include that brand. Okay, start talking about that brand, be with that brand, wear that brand, you know, just align with a brand, but pick wisely. I mean,
right.
again, going back to who are you and what do you want to do and what do you want to accomplish and what do you want to tell the world, and then pick three or four brands that work for you, and then that's your sort of mantra. That's what you want to do, want to see, want to talk about, want to wear. That's really important right now. And if you're not on social media, you should be on social media. It's kind of the way to communicate right now.
I just want to take a quick moment to thank our amazing sponsor, Keranique, the go-to brand for women's hair growth solutions. If you're looking for healthier, thicker, more beautiful hair, no matter what hair concerns you have, Keranique has got you covered. Their products are clinically proven and dermatologist recommended, offering a complete hair care system, including treatments, shampoos, conditioners, and supplements to help you achieve stronger, fuller looking hair from the inside out. So whether you're starting your hair regrowth journey or maintaining gorgeous, healthy locks, Keranique has a solution for you. And as a Beauty Shift listener, you get 25% off site-wide. All you have to do is head over to store.keranique.com and use the code BeautyShift25 at checkout. Thanks again, Keranique, for supporting the Beauty Shift and helping women everywhere feel confident and beautiful. So now let's get back to the show. It is, and creating
Yeah.
content for your social media, which is what I've been helping people do as well, because there's a certain way to do that, to make sure that you are connecting. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just start sharing your message like you are every single day. I love it. I go on, pop on to Instagram real quick, and I'm like, there's Susan, and I love it. I listen to your just, very short and sweet messages of helping people, and that's what draws more people to you. We start looking forward to hearing your advice and getting to know you more. And I
Well,
just feel it's so
thank
important.
you. I appreciate that. And so I'll be, really frank with you. So I've never done social media before because I've been an agent in Hollywood, and it's just obviously everything's changing with social media, right?
Right.
But it wasn't cool to do it before. It wasn't. I mean, in the beginning there wasn't any, and then we got our phones, and then social media has only been around for not that many years. But I never did it, and I never built a website purposely because if you look around, none of the management companies or agencies have websites. We don't advertise. We sort of stay away or stay. I guess there's sort of a line in the sand, or there has been, but that I think is going away. And so I was really nervous about doing social media. I was nervous because I was wondering what my industry would think,
Mm-hmm.
because it hasn't been done. I mean, there are no agents and managers that are on social media. They're just starting. I mean, I feel like I'm in the forefront here.
I love
Um,
it. Yeah.
it's been a scary thing to start it. Okay. Plus, and I represent influencers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I really I was on a learning curve like this, okay, as to how to do it, literally how to make a TikTok or an Instagram. And so I had to learn. I mean, I watched 1,000 YouTube videos, right, to figure out, and I still am. I'm learning more every day. I mean, that's a big change, and I think I'm leading the way because every day I see another production company or not an agent yet, but maybe a manager starting to get on social media. I did it because I decided that I didn't want to be back there anymore and not sharing.
Right.
It's been very, very helpful for me with my influencers that I represent because I'm now relating to their frustrations and problems, and I really get it. I'm really getting it now. So
Yeah, it's a full-time job
it
just
is a
to
full-time job. I have one influencer that I represent who literally posts 3 to 4 videos a day, and it's a full-time job.
And at what point do you start making money as an influencer?
It's different depending on who you are because you might be. It depends on what you do and what your expertise is, because you might be very, very valuable. You may not have that many followers, but you may be very valuable to the followers to the brands because the followers you have are the ones they're trying to get to.
Are a lot of influencers now kind of crossing over into television, or is it staying separated?
So that's been such an interesting thing for me. Um, so not a lot are crossing over. And for years, I was trying to figure out why. Okay. And then I went, because they're talented people. And why are they not crossing over? And why is XYZ influencer getting a TV show and then it's not working? And I found that the, the folks that were really popular on whatever, Instagram or probably TikTok for VidCon, um, they were great on this little screen. Okay. They were awesome on this little screen. But then when you took them to a conference and you put them on a stage with, their hair, their makeup, their wardrobe, their followers, their fans and everything, they weren't so great. They didn't know what to do. They
Yeah.
didn't have those skills. And they could have, but they just didn't know. They needed somebody like me to
Right.
help them, all right, to figure out what it's like to be on stage, which is a whole nother ball game. It's really interesting to watch one person in particular who was so outgoing and fabulous on social media, and then I brought her to the street, and the minute the camera went on, she froze and she was scared and she was insecure, but she did a great job on social. So it's two totally different areas. And then I've had others who've been great on stage, but really, really nervous when they go to do their social media. So I help them
Both.
cross over.
Yeah, that's great because that I have friends that have come to me as well that are very well known on social and they want to get on television and I'm like, "Oh, easy." With their
Well, you're
background.
great at it. Yeah,
Yeah, and
you're
so
amazing.
they're like, "But what do I do if I get booked? Well, how do I?" And so I like you, I coach them because it's really not as scary as people think, but you really
Right.
do need to learn kind of how to be on camera, how to be in front of live audiences. And the only way that I learned was just doing it.
You did it. You
I
did
did
do
it.
it.
I was scared
You
to death.
did
I was
it.
throwing up before I used to go on. I used to, I had a big, huge, my first speaking engagement was in front of like 2,500 women in Toronto. And it was with Joy Behar and oh my gosh, I can't remember. I think it was Sigourney Weaver. There were Barbara Corcoran. I was a
Uh-huh.
part of the speakers that
Yep.
were there. I'd never spoken in my life in front of thousands of people. I got up there and I did my thing and
Was
I
your heart like
spoke and I
racing?
was out. Yeah. And so the next morning, my agent called, my speaking agent called and she's like, "What happened?" I said, "What do you mean what happened?" She goes, "They said that you bombed." And I went, "Oh
What?
my gosh." So I didn't take them down and bring them back up, as kind of a motivational speaker. My book had just come out and I thought, well, I'll just talk about what I do and who I am. And so anyway, I went and got a speaking coach
Oh,
and they taught me
oh,
the
yeah.
art of storytelling. I think once you get that storytelling, now I can go on HSN, I can be in front of a live audience, I can do a podcast like this without over preparing because it's all about telling our stories and sharing
Yes.
our highs and lows and how we overcame because people want really connect with what the same issues are that maybe you've gone through and how did
Mm-hmm.
you overcome those and as an
Mm-hmm.
expert or what is your advice to overcome those things and so I get it
Yeah.
now but again I had to fail to
Yes.
change it up and then the next tour was in Calgary. They allowed me to come back and I got a
I
standing
love it.
ovation.
I
But
love it.
I know, but I
That's
think
so
it's about
good.
focusing on what you do well and do more of that.
Yeah.
I think a
Yeah.
lot of times we beat ourselves up and then we sabotage ourselves and then we don't move forward. Because this is just a tough business.
It's
Television,
tough.
speaking, social, all of it.
But you're so great at both. I mean, if you weren't, you certainly have learned to do that. So you must have learned how to bridge that gap and see how totally different it is.
Yes, I did. And I think, you helped me a lot in the beginning.
Oh,
Oh my word. You know, when I would go in for big interviews and with some of the networks, and you really did help coach
oh,
me and
thank
help me
you.
build my confidence. So I owe a lot to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then when I got the book deal, you know, I think then I was expected to speak and
Yeah.
tour with Louise Hay and Wayne Dyer and all these big speakers.
Yes.
And Louise Hay actually and Cheryl Richardson, another Hay House author, they coached me. You know, it was just like the first time I met you. My mom said to me, because she flew out with me to LA to meet you in Hollywood,
Yeah.
and my mom, when I walked out the door of that hotel room for my first meeting with you, my mom said, "Don't get in your head. Get in your
Yeah.
head, you're dead." And I always think about that when I'm getting ready to go on camera. It's like I gotta let go. I
Gotta
know what
let
I'm
go.
supposed to say. I've
Yeah.
memorized my talking points and blah blah blah, but now I got to let it go and just
Yeah.
be me. And I think that's been the key, but it's also been turning to people like yourself who have mentored me. That's how we learn.
I remember like loving you from the moment you walked into my office,
Mm.
right? Because it's you've got magic, right?
Oh,
You shine. So you are doing what you should be doing. And that's why you do it so well.
oh,
You're really, really good at it. The other thing is that because I know you said you've taken advice from many different people, obviously you're very, very coachable. And being
yeah,
coachable is really important. And you wanted it very, very much. And
true.
you gotta want it a lot. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a really good point that I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
You brought up something in your Instagram post again, which I'm going to plug again. Everybody needs to tune into Instagram and TikTok. Susan Haber, love it. But you talked about
Thank you.
really thinking about why you're on TV. Why do you want to be on TV or why do you want to be on camera? And for me,
Yeah.
my driving purpose was I'm a celebrity makeup artist, but I was thrown on camera at CBS in Tampa
Yeah.
and started to get some of this um, experience. And then they asked me to host like a morning talk show, which is a, you know, really small little show, but it helped me see that my purpose was to help people
Hmm.
because I was helping people feel better about themselves. I was helping people share information that's super important to help others improve their lives and feel better about themselves. So when I met you, you know, that's what I was sharing was like, these are the things I want to do. And I don't know how I can do this on a much higher level. And you were like, oh, let's style network and e-network and, you know, let's go. And I'm like, oh,
Let's go
wow,
check it
okay.
out. Right.
But that's the thing. I think that we also have to really be, and really clicked with me when I saw your Instagram post, is that it's so important for us to focus on the why. Why are we
Yeah,
doing this?
absolutely. Why am I doing this? And the other part of it is that I want this so badly. I want this more than, and you did this. I mean, you persevered through everything, and look at
Yeah.
you now. But
Divorce,
you,
almost homeless at one point after a divorce. Swear to God. I mean,
yeah,
lost everything financially and I still did it.
yeah. And you still did it. Absolutely. And that's awesome. Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
actually became an agent while I was getting a divorce because I needed a job. And then it just kind of worked. I mean, it didn't just work, I worked my ass off.
Right.
So, right. I really wanted it. We
Mhm.
made it happen. We didn't give up. And that's what I sort of ask of the folks that I work with is that they want it really badly because I always say if I want it because I get really passionate about anybody I decide to work with, like I really want it for them, right?
Yeah.
And if I want it more than them, that's crooked. That's wrong. They need to want it so badly, and that's a really important part of it to want it so badly and not give up. And you did it.
Absolutely. Oh, I
Yeah,
did. Thank you. And I
you
mean, I had three
did.
little kids, and I remember you saying to me, "Are you
Amazing,
sure?"
amazing.
Because now they're all grown and gone. But
Right.
I remember you saying to me, "Are you sure?" Because if I get you an offer,
Right.
you better step through that door. And, because all the work that you put into it and your reputation is on the line too,
Yeah.
let the fear go of what can happen, but you also have to
Right.
realize, okay, if I do get this opportunity,
Yeah.
is this something that I really want? And if so, why? And if not, because a lot of times people go in a direction they think they want. And then when they get that opportunity, they either run from fear or they can decide, oh gosh, it's not what I thought it was. And so maybe I don't want
Yes.
that. So that's
True.
okay. Just as long
Yes.
as it's not fear that's, making you quit.
I've had a couple times where they said they wanted it. They made me believe that they wanted it. And then when it came, because it usually does, if you want it really badly, then they got scared and sort of, backed off.
Hmm.
And oh, one in particular, I remember, and this was a chef who wanted a cooking show. And we got we got the deal with the development company. We were really close to having the show, and she got scared. She walked
Wow.
away.
The question that came to my mind when you were talking about that, if someone is an expert, like a chef or, someone that I even have a client of mine right now that is interested in doing more television, and she is a psychologist.
Oh
She's really
yeah.
cool, and I was like, yeah, you could be
Yeah.
maybe on the
Oh yeah.
Today Show, things like, who knows, or shows
Hmm.
that have a psychologist come in.
Yeah.
Do they need to have an agent to get on these shows? Primarily,
Oh,
like, will people take
absolutely.
any
Yeah.
kind of introduction otherwise?
So I call myself a, what do I call myself? A TV talent manager, TV show packager, brand builder, media and image consultant, and I represent experts and personalities and hosts and influencers, right? So I do a lot of different things, but one of the things I do is work with the talk shows, the daytime talk shows and the morning shows and all of that. It's really impossible, not completely impossible, but it's a lot easier to get on if you've got a me in your corner. And
Yeah.
certainly to help you figure out how to present yourself to them.
Are you finding in Hollywood, in the TV industry, with you know influencers, are you finding that age is an issue, or are they starting to kind of change their mindsets in that area?
It has changed. It is all different now. And, for years, because I've been doing this for 28 years,
Yeah.
I started at ICM 28 years ago. I can't believe it. But for years, we could not sell anything. Nobody wanted to even talk about a show with anybody over 40. Okay.
Hmm.
But now, as you can see with the Golden Bachelor and the Golden Bachelorette, which have paved the way for all kinds of great stuff. I
I know
mean,
in my
really,
neighborhood they have golden bachelor parties. Tomorrow night we're all wearing gowns and we're going to see this darn show.
I love it. I think it's fabulous. I love it.
Yeah.
And it is just, and the brands never thought that the boomers, I guess,
Hmm.
had any money to spend. And that's what they're concerned with, is that people are spending money. They thought it was all, sort of like 18 through maybe 40.
Right.
Um, but the boomers have disposable income.
Hmm.
And, from these two ABC shows, brilliant shows that we've been trying to do forever and ever and ever, they finally did it at the right time, right place, and it's working. A lot more is going to open up now. I mean, it already is with people that are
Aging like us.
aging like
Oh, well, good. Well,
us.
maybe we need to talk after this.
I think so.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like brands that are coming to me, a lot of times that is their target market. It's like over
Oh yeah.
40.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And in this world, it's like, everybody's trying to look younger, feel younger, be healthy, be all that. And it's a market. It's definitely a
Yeah.
market now.
Is there anything else that you feel is important to share? Is there anyone listening right now who's just like, this is something that I want to do, but I just don't know how to get started? Or I don't know, maybe something else comes to mind for you.
Well, the one thing I know for sure is like we never know in life what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing we know for sure, which always cheers me up, but if you never try, you never know. You just won't know. You could have been all that you wanted to be
Yeah.
if you just, step out a little bit, take a risk. You do need to have people behind you, like you or me or people like
Hmm.
us, that will believe in you, that will be your cheerleaders, but and that will teach you.
Yeah.
However, you got to try. You got to try. Don't not try.
You have to just do it, and then that fear will eventually subside. What is it? Wayne Dyer used to say, it's false evidence appearing real. Fear is not
Yes,
real.
I
Stop.
remember that. Fear is not real. It's just a feeling, but it's not real. And I will tell you, so I have a daughter who, when I said, yeah, I think I'm going to start a TikTok channel, she looked at me and said, what? You're doing what, mother? Um,
Yeah.
why
Oh.
would you do that, mother? And then, so I started it, and then she was watching it, and she said to me, I can't watch you. You're my mother, and I can't see it. But you know what? It's been great. And I've loved it. And I'm having fun. And I'm getting to people and helping people and taking care of people and giving them confidence. And I'm happy.
I love it. And I'm loving it. I'm watching you on TikTok and Instagram, and now you've encouraged me to get on TikTok more. You're right. That's a good
Yeah.
place to go.
It's a great place to be. Yeah.
If someone wants to come to you and say, okay, can you help me with my brand or become an influencer? What are you looking for? Like, what do they kind of have to have lined up before they can hire you? Or I don't know how
So,
that works. It's not necessarily we hire you.
right.
You actually accept us as
Right.
talent.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
please take me. We don't hire you. Susan hires us, by the
Very
way.
funny.
We don't have a choice. That's her choice. You represent really big people. So
Very
that's why I'm
funny.
asking, because I think, a lot of people, even to get a book deal, they don't realize like you don't just go write a book. Like it's
Right.
important to kind of put
Oh,
the
yeah.
pieces of the puzzle together to get to the point to where an agent
Yeah.
will look at you and consider you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're right. It's hard to get looked at, but
Yeah.
what am I looking for? I am looking well, first of all, I look for talent everywhere. And by talent, I mean, it doesn't matter. I work with judges and lawyers and shrinks and hypnotists and designers and carpenters and news people and anchors and athletes and all kinds of people. I am open to everything. And if I haven't named it just now, anything else, whatever somebody is doing or is that is extraordinary in some way. And so I always put it like they have to have that something, something. I don't know what it is, but I know it when I see it. So just don't hesitate. You probably have it. If you think you have it, I'm sure you have it. And I can help you bring it out and figure it out. So I think they can reach out to me through my TikTok.
That's what I was just going to say, like TikTok or
Yeah.
Instagram would
Yeah.
be a great place to reach out to you. Like
Yeah.
that's a nice thing. If you reach out to someone on TikTok or they reach out to you or Instagram, you can immediately see what they're doing.
Oh, you can absolutely. You can see sort of the whole picture or what they're not doing. Pretty open to talking to people. I mean, I'm doing this because I want to help people and connect with people.
Yeah.
I love call my little children like you, and I really love that. So yeah,
I know
yeah.
you're amazing, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for all you've
Oh,
done for me and for giving back. I mean, just seeing you giving back and helping people through your social media is it's just amazing, and especially since nobody else is doing it.
well,
I think it's awesome. You
I
go, girl.
guess. But it's very cathartic for me. I'm really having a great time. I love just talking to you here. And yeah, I love it. It's really
Oh,
fun.
well, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, sweetie pie. Good to see you. You look amazing and
Thank
I
you.
adore you.
Oh, I adore you too. Susan, thank you so much for such an inspiring and enlightening conversation. And thank you all for being here today with us. I know that we all have busy schedules, so we do appreciate you taking time to listen or watch the show. And if there's anyone that you think could really benefit from today's episode, please feel free to share. And also, if you feel so inclined, we'd love if you could leave a review. Until next time, remember, it's so important for you to follow your heart. Go for your dreams. At any age and every stage, being you is the most beautiful thing that you can be. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Keranique, America's #1 hair regrowth system created by women for women. I hope you enjoyed the show, and if you did, please feel free to share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And if you'd like to receive my free beauty and wellness gifts, just go to my website, michellephillips.com. I also invite you to join my social media community on Facebook and Instagram, Michelle Phillips Beauty.